All right, from their own documents. This is the FDA's own website. So they will explain to us the truth by lying. Basically, that's exactly what they're doing. They're extremely deceptive. There's I don't know how anybody could come up with this kind of stuff, but it certainly is true. So what happens is that this Opil tablet does not prevent conception by suppressing ovulation, even though they say Opil tablets prevent conception by suppressing ovulation. So it's extremely deceptive, right? They will say that, and we went into that in great detail in another video. But basically, it will not prevent conception by suppressing ovulation, even though it says that it will prevent conception by suppressing ovulation. So over here is the key here, altering the endometrium, which is the place where the baby will be conceived and the baby will actually die, which is something that people can just not accept. I've talked to a number of different people, and they are just stuck. There's a roadblock there, and their minds fail to comprehend this. They just cannot understand it, right? And it is not certainly not it's not public knowledge or anything, but it certainly is. It is and it isn't, right? So how are so many people deceived? Well, probably is because you're saying it prevents conception by suppressing ovulation, right in your FDA's own, but it does not prevent conception by suppressing ovulation. So there's two things here, right? So they will change the definition of conception to mean implantation, right? So implantation, a successful implantation there, and so that's what altering the endometrium lining, the endometrial lining there. That's what will kill the actual baby. So it will not be a conception because the blastocyst failed to implant. Well, the blastocyst, what is that? Well, in real medical science, not industry, industry jargon, right? In real medical science, the blastocyst that failed to implant. Anybody that understands embryology will know that it's a baby boy or a baby girl that died because of these tablets. Let's read this again. It prevents conception by suppressing ovulation. Oh, that's wonderful. But it does not prevent conception by suppressing ovulation, right? First of all, conception is conception with a TM at the end of it. It's not real conception. It's implantation, or that's when they arbitrarily choose it to be. And then altering the endometrium, well then, what happens when the baby boy or the baby girl tries to implant? It's a perfectly natural stage of development. Well, the baby will die, and that's what people just cannot accept. They just cannot accept that. But anyway, we're talking about that. All right, so deceptive marketing in plain sight. The claim that opioid tablets prevent conception by suppressing ovulation is the first thing a young woman sees, right? How old is this girl? 16, 17, 18 years old. She's, not I mean, I'm not saying she's stupid at all. I'm not saying, I'm not insulting her intelligence. I'm not saying that. But I mean, she's young, she's inexperienced, she doesn't know better. And these people are deliberately trying to deceive her. So this statement is designed to be reassuring, leading her to believe that the drug simply stops ovulation, preventing pregnancy in a way she might equate to natural infertility during certain parts of her cycle. So she's going to learn that there's going to be conception. Well, that means a baby. Ovulation, that means a baby. Oh, so that's great. Pill tablets prevents conception by suppressing ovulation. How? Well, it will do this and do this and do this. That's all that she will understand, right? There's an incredible amount of perversion of truth and justice here. I mean, so they're essentially lying. I mean, that's exactly what it is. If somebody tells me the tablets prevent conception by suppressing ovulation, but what they really mean is the tablets do not prevent conception, and then, let's read on to suppressing ovulation in approximately half, thickening the cervical mucus, inhibiting sperm penetration, lowering the mid-cycle LH and FSH peaks, slowing the movement of ovum through the fallopian tubes, and altering the endometrium. Oh, well, so to me, I know better because we do our research, but anybody else who's just how much time are they going to spend in the doctor's office? 5 to 7 minutes max, and they would say, okay, well, are you sexually active? Yes, I am. So she's not going to ask, are you married or anything like that. She's just going to ask, are you sexually active? So which is a lifestyle thing. It's not a an illness or anything like that. And then she's going to put her signature on the prescription pad. So she is the guilty party there. So yeah. So the statement is designed to be reassuring, leading her to believe that the drug simply stops ovulation, preventing pregnancy in a way she might equate to natural infertility during parts of her cycle. So burying the truth in medical jargon. After the initial claim, the document continues with complicated scientific language that the average person, even many medical professionals, would struggle to fully decipher. Right? This creates the illusion of transparency while ensuring that most readers will gloss over the critical details, right? So that's the problem, right? So the critical details here, let's make no mistake, it's altering the endometrium. So that's really the critical detail over here, altering the endometrium. Oh, it sounds good. It prevents conception by suppressing ovulation and altering the endometrium, and oh, it does this and that and this. This is great. It prevents conception by suppressing ovulation. In approximately half of the cycles. But what happens when the sperm does, penetrate the egg? The baby is born, and the baby will die at the very natural and healthy stage of development, right? And this is why this is murder. Right? This is why this is murder. Extraordinarily deceptive. What they're saying is absolutely true, though. That's what it is, but it isn't. It is true. What they are saying is true, but it is so buried in medical jargon, and it would take it does take some medical science, basic understanding of embryology and all this stuff to decipher, and it's not actually that complicated. But the Dr. Dow, the murderess, did not explain that. She just says, well, it prevents, as you can see there, it prevents conception by suppressing ovulation. She's part of the deception and all this stuff, and not diagnosing any kind of illness. Natural fertility is not an illness or anything like that. So, where's the diagnosis, and why a cure for something that's not even a problem? Right? Natural fertility is a great thing. It's not a problem. Yeah. So maybe the lifestyle is a problem, but whatever. That's beyond the scope of this one here. So the key admission is hidden at the end. After reassuring the reader that ovulation is suppressed, the document casually mentioned that Opils works by altering the endometrium. For those who don't know, this means making the womb inhospitable to a fertilized egg, or a baby, preventing implantation. This is an abortifacient effect, but the document does not explicitly say so, allowing the company to avoid liability while still informing those who already understand the terminology. So you got these wicked, lawyers who are, again, I mean, these people pervert justice so much that can they be even called lawyers? Well, according to domestic law and all this stuff, and how the industry has bribed the lawmakers and all this stuff, and they understand that so well. They understand that it's a baby. They understand the baby will die, but they craft these kinds of word salads to. Oh my goodness, it's so deceptive and so wicked, and it's evil. It's absolutely downright evil. So these types of lawyers will craft these sentences, and the doctors will be the foot soldier. We'll see then in another video, the foot soldier video. That's a pretty good one. It's coming up soon. Now, the psychological manipulation of women. Right, a young woman trusting in that's the thing, right? They will trust Dr. Dow. She's a pillar of the society, right? A young woman trusting in medical professionals and pharmaceutical companies will read the first line and stop there. She believes she is preventing pregnancy in a morally neutral way. She's not realizing that she is taking a drug that can kill a newly conceived human life. the industry preys on her lack of medical knowledge to ensure she never questions the ethics of her actions. So that's the thing, right? They're manipulating her into getting her money, and sex sells, right? That's the thing. I mean, they know that, right? Sex sells. It's a fairly lucrative business, and what are they selling? It's a product. It's not a medication. They're selling a lifestyle that she can indulge in multiple partners and all this stuff. That sounds great. I am, sexually active and all that stuff, and boyfriend after boyfriend, and whatever else, the body count and whatever else these young feminists will completely destroy their lives doing. There's, and we're not going to get into that, but I mean, it certainly is, a very, very risky for a potential husband to get involved with that kind of stuff. I mean, the husband will not have any kind of uh, you know, the wife will not want to uh, attach herself. If she's been with a number of different partners, she's not going to want to attach to a serious man, and all that stuff. There's so much. This lifestyle is what they are selling, right? And it's so much fun, right? They can just sleep around and all this stuff. It's sex sells, and that's part of it. But they are manipulating these women, and the women are the victims. The men are the victims, the babies, pay the ultimate sacrifice. His life, the baby's life is gone for what? Some billions of profit every quarter, right? So a strategy designed to maintain profits. If the documents clearly stated this drug prevents pregnancy, but may also end an early pregnancy by preventing implantation, it would spark ethical concerns and pushback. Many women, especially those who are normally conflicted about abortion, would refuse to take it. Instead, the pharmaceutical industry carefully crafts its language to maximize sales and avoid controversy. So they just want the money to keep it to keep rolling in, and the people to be quiet. Right, that's basically what they want. But these women, they don't really want to have an abortion, right? No, no, most of the women are, they have, some sort of, heart, and they don't want to see their baby ripped from ripped their limbs off, and the brain is completely crushed and destroyed, and all the stuff, that the heart, lungs, and spleen, and lungs and organs, and all the different kind of organs are in a tray. This is a baby, of course. You can see the face and all this stuff, but some of these women would certainly not, purchase and subsequently take and have an abortion themselves, right? These are women having abortions, right? If it's early, if it's late, it's the same abortion, right? All right, let's continue. Doctors and pharmacists as willing accomplices. Instead of explaining these nuances to their patients, most doctors and pharmacists parrot the misleading line about ovulation suppression. Either out of ignorance or willful deception, they allow women to take these drugs without fully understanding their effects. So that's the thing. The doctor here, Dr. Dow, is not doing it out of ignorance. Certainly not. That is just not the case. She has training, and if she were that ignorant, then that would raise even more of an issue that this kind of trained medical specialists would be ignorant on that very basic fact. A false sense of moral high ground. Many women who oppose abortion may unknowingly take these drugs, believing they are preventing pregnancy rather than terminating it. This deception creates an entire class of women unknowingly complicit in something they would otherwise reject, allowing the abortion industry to expand its reach without resistance. So the hidden tragedy. The ultimate victim of this deception is the child. Like we said, the baby, the young boy or the young girl that never got the chance to, never had a chance to, never even had the chance to feel the warmth of the blood in their heart. It's just so evil. But you can never take away the humanity. This was a small boy or small girl. While the woman taking O-pill or any kind of other types of drugs like this believes she is making a responsible and ethical choice, the truth remains that a unique human life with its own DNA may be lost because she was never given honest information, right? So, and that's Dr. Dow's foolishness on display here. That's what's going on here. Let's look at this one more time before we go. All right, so the opal tablet will not prevent conception by suppressing ovulation. It will It will not, right? It certainly will not, and that's the issue. Even though they say the tablets will prevent conception by suppressing ovulation, you will, if you will look at this, you will see that it does actually not. But it's clearly designed to deceive and to maintain that profitability there, while killing these innocent children. So that's all.